Greetings, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Barbara Dean Franklin Show, Real Talk, Real People. I am your host, Barbara Dean Franklin, and today I have the awesome pleasure of sitting with my girl, Beverly Archer, from the LaFontaine Family Car Dealers. How are you, Beverly?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm great.
Good. Well, I am so glad that you took the time out of your busy schedule to come and sit with me. I want to talk to my audience about cars. You know, we're going to talk about just the process of, purchasing cars, what people should look for. But before we get started, I like to tell people how I met, So you are my new car salesperson, okay?
Correct,
I just
right.
purchased a new Acadia from Beverly a couple of weeks ago. We met through Rita Taylor of Taylor Career Staffing, and so you're selling cars to everybody, that is connected in our network right now. And so we appreciate everything that you're doing. But let's talk a little bit about your, your other profession before, cars. You have a master's degree in social work.
Yes.
Okay, and so tell us a little bit about, the social work that you did before you started selling cars.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. This is a privilege, an honor and a privilege.
Thank you.
Yes, I do. I have a master's in social work.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with several different populations of people. I've worked with serious and violent offenders.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with adjudicated youth. I've worked with mental health patients who are dual diagnosed with substance abuse issues.
Mm-hmm.
I was a therapist at a substance abuse facility.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, for my internship, I was a social work for cancer patients at a hospital. So I've done a array of things in the social work field.
Great. So you go from social work to now you're selling cars. Still kind of almost like social work a little bit, you think?
It is. But
okay.
my first profession was selling cars.
All right.
Okay. However, as we talked about earlier, I've been a social worker since I was a little girl. Okay. Always caring about people. Wanting the best for people and believing in human conditions, thinking that people can persevere through whatever they go through and find a way out.
Mm-hmm.
That's my belief system.
All right.
However, I started off selling cars at a very young age. I'm from Lansing, Michigan, so I started off selling cars in Lansing. When I came here to Detroit, I ended up going to school, and I worked for an organization where the grant ended.
Okay.
Once the grant ended, a friend of mine suggested that I sell cars. And I said, well, I've done that before. So I sold cars again for a couple dealerships. And in 2008, the industry crashed.
Okay.
And at that time, I had to make a decision to leave. I left the dealership, and I went back to school, and I got a master's.
Okay.
And then I became a social worker.
All right.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay, you went full circle and so
I
you're
did.
back to selling cars.
I
Well,
did.
I thank God that you're selling cars today, okay?
Thank you.
Because I really want to say that I've purchased many cars over my lifetime, and sitting with you and purchasing my car was the most refreshing experience that I had, because I felt like I was purchasing a car from somebody who cared about me, who was not going to just put me in anything, who was going to make sure that every I was dotted and T was crossed. And that, what I really like about it is at one point when I was like stammering, really like getting ready to make another decision, I was like, well, let me give you this amount. You say, I don't want all your money. I want you to make sure that you're happy in whatever it is that you get. So I thank you for that. I thank you for people like you that are out there selling cars to people and making sure that they can afford the purchases that they drive off in, that they can live with it each and every day. So what I want to do is I want us to talk about like the day in the life of Beverly Archer. A lot of people have apprehension about purchasing a car. Number one, just like I said, because they think that a lot of times people are they're not fair. Okay, so but I know in the LaFontaine family, you guys are looking for people who want to purchase a car, and you're not doing any unscrupulous things. You talked to me. You said that you can help anybody get in the car, but there are some things that you just don't do ethically. Tell me, talk a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, let me say a little bit about LaFontaine. Not only do I work there, but before I started working there, I bought my vehicle from LaFontaine.
All right.
So in purchasing my vehicle, I found them to be very ethical.
Okay.
We have all had been in positions in our lives that your credit isn't good. You may not have the money. You may be in a car, make emotional buys.
Right.
And that's what happened with me. I made an emotional buy, and I ended up being stuck in that vehicle. When I went to LaFontaine, again, the finance department was impeccable, and I thought, wow, this is cool. So I got a car and ended up getting a 2014, and I was very pleased with the way they handled me. So when I made a decision to go back into the business, LaFontaine happened to be one of the dealerships that I interviewed with, and because of my experience with them, I felt this is the place I want to be.
Good.
Okay. So, therefore, when it comes to purchasing a vehicle, I do know for a fact that their finance department is just impeccable in what they do. They do want to sell you a car. However, they don't want to sell you a car that A, is not a certified vehicle, B, that you can't afford. And they always say to me when I go into the finance office, Beverly, how can we help them?
All right.
They're not looking at the high finance charges, and that's what happens a lot to people who make emotional buys. First of all, they don't feel as though they're worthy enough to go to a dealership. They go to B lots, and because they go to B lots, they get 25% financing, 29% financing. The vehicle that they get already have 100,000 miles on it because they're buying the name of the vehicle and they're not buying the vehicle.
Right.
Okay.
So you said something that was real good right there when you talked about the financing and the high, financing charge. And I just wanted to just share with you because when I happened to call my credit union the other day, and we were, going through some things, and they said, I can't remember if they asked me about my Durango or if they already saw the Acadia. They were looking at my credit report, and they were like, well, what was the finance right there? Because immediately they're trying to,
Absolutely.
And so when I told them what I got with you, they was like, oh, you got a good deal. This is my credit union. This is where my money is. This is people that I deal with all the time. And you would think, well, if I'm with my credit union, they're going to give me a better deal than somebody that I just started doing business with. So that right there, when you talk about their financing department being impeccable and them getting you the best deal, because, as I'm thinking about this, I'm like, well, did I get the best rate? And when he brought that up, I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to refinance my vehicle and get it with them for cheaper. But then he said, oh, you got a good rate.
Absolutely.
So I know, so then again, it just verified for me what I already felt when I was there, when I was with you. So if a person, I think another thing is about like the credit scoring, because a lot of times people don't understand what impacts their credit too when they go in to purchase a car. It's like the types of credit, there's a 5 factors that the FICO score has. 10% is your type of credit, 10% is new credit, 15% is your length of credit history, 30% is the amount you owe, so that's the debt to credit ratio, and 35% of it is your payment history. So when you're walking a person through, you talked about they need money. Talk about that. If they have a down payment, how it shows that.
This is, this statistic, what you just read me, from what I've seen, it's not valid. What I've seen at LaFontaine is that, yes, your credit score does have a variance, but it is not the variance. You understand what I mean? It's like there's a good car credit, and a bad car credit. If you have a vehicle, and you may have some negative things on your credit report, but if you have a vehicle that you've paid that vehicle, your credit score, because of the other negative stuff that's on there, it may not be that high. But your income may show that you're able to afford a vehicle. we will help you get financed, okay?
Okay.
Now, the good part about when you're talking about money down, very important. Money down is very important because it shows the finance company, it shows the bank, the credit union, she's going to participate in this, because most people say, I don't want to put any money down.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I don't want to put any money down.
Right.
That shows, no,
you're looking for something without paying into
without
something.
participating into it,
All
you
right.
know. So that's really, really important. I've gotten people financed that have very low credit scores. Okay. We may have to put both people on the credit app.
All right.
Doesn't mean that it's going to impact them, either one of them, but the bottom line to it is they get done. You know, it's there's just a lot that weighs into it, but the bottom line, I've probably had 10 people, and there's probably only 3 that didn't get financed.
All right.
And let me say this, it's not that they didn't get financed, but again, back to what I will and won't do.
All right.
Okay. I could have gotten them financed. I could have put them in a vehicle with a lot of miles in it. I don't do that.
Okay.
I just don't, because I want you to like me.
Right.
I want you to send me people. I don't want to put you in a car that in 6 months you're not going to want to pay for.
Exactly.
Okay. However, again, at LaFontaine, they pride themselves on being the #1 certified dealership.
Okay.
Certified one ownership dealer, okay? And all of their vehicles have the extended warranty on them. Their used vehicles, their pre-owned vehicles have the extended warranty in it. It's just impeccable. I love who I work for.
That's good.
You know.
So LaFontaine, you're at the Cadillac dealer, but you said they have 22.
They have 22 brands, meaning what it is I'm on the Cadillac team.
Okay.
I'm in the Cadillac showroom. However, in the building that I work from, we have GMC, we have Buick, we also have the pre-owned section of that. However, they also own Ford, Volkswagen, Chevrolet, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Toyota, Ford trucks, Hyundai, Scion, the Ram, the Jeep. They have a clearance center, Dodge. They also have commercial trucks, okay? And I can sell you every one of those vehicles.
And that's what that was my next question.
Right.
So say perhaps, you know, because I have viewers that are all over the world.
Absolutely.
You know, but I do know this, that as I signed the papers, the young lady from the finance department, she said, this particular paper, you know, you signed this, it just means that you cannot export your vehicle out of the country. You know, that you could take it with you anywhere, but you can't export it out of the country. So if somebody was looking, say, I have a brother in Egypt that, you know, watches here all the time. Can you sell cars?
Absolutely. I can ship him a car. We have a lot of salespeople that they sell cars to people who are in Florida. I haven't done that yet, but I'm open to it. I'll sell you a car in Egypt, Budapest, wherever you're at.
So you will surf or ski,
Absolutely.
You know, cold or hot, wherever it is that
Absolutely.
you have to go. I just truly, you know, again, appreciate your integrity. So this week we're going to be at an event that Miss Rita is sponsoring on Saturday. So you're going to be out there selling cars there. And I don't have that address with me up front. You don't either. So we need to get that before the show is over so we can talk a little bit about that. But if you go to my Facebook page, the Barbara Dean Franklin show page, that information is on there, or go to Beverly Archer and friend her on Facebook. That information is out there. She'll be there. There'll be a table. You can sit up and be up close and personal, talk to her about whatever it is that you need, and she'll be willing to talk to you. But if people want to call you and they want to talk to you about getting a car, what is the number that they can reach you at?
Well, they can reach me at 248-714-1517. You can also email me at barcher, ARCHER, at LaFontaine, which is spelled LaFontaine.com.
All right. That is, repeat your...
Again, that is Beverly Archer. My direct line is 248-714-1517. My email address is barcher at lafontaine.com.
Okay. So now, a typical day, let's go back to a typical day in the life of a salesperson, a typical day in the life of Beverly Archer, because you're not a typical car salesperson. You know, this is Beverly extraordinaire, all right? So, what time do you usually get into the dealership in the morning?
Well, you know, I have a 13-year-old son, right. Chandler. I must say hi to my baby,
hey,
Chandler. Chandler, he's 13, and he has been very intricate in everything that I do in my life. But I make sure he's gone off to school, and then I do my thing. I'm usually in the office at 8:30 every day. I'm always the first one there. I've learned all through my tenure in being employed that the early bird gets the worm.
All right.
So I'm always early, you know, so I'm pretty much there every day at 8:30. Usually what I do is I don't believe in wasting people's time, okay? I try to do everything before you get to the dealership. Before you get to me, you know you have been financed. We have talked about a vehicle, just like you and I.
Exactly.
You know what you're getting. I tell you, I don't leave anything out, okay? I spoke to a young lady this morning. She stated to me that she had spoke to another dealership, and I said, well, how much are you paying? She said, I don't know. I said, what's your finance charge? She said, I don't know. I said, well, honey, let me tell you what I don't do, okay? So I make sure I give you my fax number. You fax me some documents, ID. If you have a car that you're trading in, I need your registration. I need your driver's license. I need a W-2 form. And then I have you go on LaFontaine's website and to do your credit application. Once you do your credit application, that comes down to me. We have a big center upstairs that does all of that. It comes down to me. I walk it over to finance, and then I talk to finance. At the end of the day, when you're financed, I call you up, congratulations, great news, okay? And I tell you what your finance charge is, tell you what I need from you, you know, as far as money down. And I always leave room, you know, if a person tells me, well, Beverly, I have $1,000. I said 1,000 up to what?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
1,000 up to what? You know, they tell me, so how much do you want to pay for your car payment? They said $300. 300 up to what?
Exactly.
You know, I have a phenomenal management team that I work with, and they always, it's always, you know, if I go in there and I say, well, they can pay $300. 300 up to what, Beverly? So therefore, I like to be, you know, prompt and available when I go in there, and I want to tell them exactly what they need to hear. My general sales manager for Cadillac is John Folio, and he's great. I mean, he works very great with me and with the rest of the sales staff. We are a very close-knit, the family deal. It describes it very much.
I truly know that, you know, just walking into the dealership, and I didn't go on my tour, but I'll be back there. You know, I need to come back in because there are a couple of things that I want to do in my vehicle to make it my own, for real. You know, I got my sunroof, you know, but there's some other things that we're going to talk about after the show. And I mean, you know, just as soon as we walked in the door, you know, it was welcome, you know, and I think that that is key. You know, that's great customer service when you walk in, you know, so I was greeted. You weren't there. You know, the guy said, well, you know, I just heard her voice. She's around the corner. Can I get you some water? Can I get you some coffee? Is there anything that you want? You know, my godson, you know, who's with me everywhere I go. I love him so much. He had a Gatorade in his hand. He was like, well, can I get you a Gatorade? We have Gatorade as well, you know, so it was very comforting. You know, the guy greeted us and treated us as if we were there. But I'm laughing because when you talk about your finance company, your center, so maybe the 2 days after I received my truck, I got a call. You know, this is LaFontaine. You know, I see your application on the thing. I said, no, I have my truck. I said, you calling me to take my truck back? I had the lady laughing. She was, you know, I said, okay, you guys are on point. She was like, no, Miss Franklin. She said, you know, I just still see your app, so we probably just didn't take it out. But, you know, welcome to the LaFontaine family. You know, we're glad to have you. I mean, even that interaction, you know, we were on the phone almost like girlfriends, you know, because I had her laughing. I mean, I feel like, you know, if I could just say this, you know, I drove a Ford most of my life, had some issues, with my Ford truck, got out of there, went to a Chrysler, dealership. I was cool with my Chrysler. I drove a Durango, but my brother works for General Motors, so I want to give some love, My brother has an AT&T phone. I retired from AT&T. We got to keep stock where, we got to support one another. This is what I'm trying to tell people to do, build a network of people where we support one another. So now I'm in the GMC family.
Yes, you are.
But I am also in the LaFontaine family because I truly believe that, I'm going to say as long as you're there, I'm going to be there. But if you leave there and you say, hey, Barb, they good, you stay there, because you come back to social work with me with Women Empowered and you start when we get the shelter
We're not
open.
getting ready to do this.
Well, we got to just talk about this.
I do independent contracting as well, so I'll take care of you. Absolutely.
Yeah. But
absolutely.
yeah, I think that I really love the experience. I love the atmosphere. I love the customer service. I love the thoroughness. I love the promptness in everything that they did. So,
Let me say this also about LaFontaine. It's a lot of dealerships that I've worked at. I've never seen the families.
Okay.
With LaFontaine's, they're there.
All right.
Okay. You see the mother, you see the father.
Okay.
They speak to you.
All right.
They're very kind, very warm. Kelly LaFontaine, I used to watch her on television. LaFontaine is everywhere. And so I watch her on television and I go, wow, and now I work there and I see her almost every day, her and her brother Ryan and Matt. It's just interesting to see the whole family that is there and they speak to you. Hi. They're there when you walk through the hallway. Their office sits over there.
Right.
You can look in there. You see them interacting. You see them. They wave at you. They say hi to you. It is. I feel like I'm a part of their family.
Good. And that's good. I mean, as you were saying that, because I think about, always, the Bernstein families. I think it's great when people work together, as a family. And, that's what, again, that's what support in one another is all about. They have their family business. Now, we're family, because everybody that I talk to, as a matter of fact, somebody called me the other day and was like, what's Beverly's number? I'm going to call her. Somebody is looking for a car, and I'm giving out your number because now we become a family, so everybody that I can, I'm going to refer to you because I had a great experience with you, and why wouldn't I,
Let me just say this because when I got back into the business, I stepped out on faith. I interviewed. I gave my 2 weeks. I had not one book of business. Okay. I had a friend, Karen Hope. So I'm going to say her name because she is very intricate in me being here with you.
All right.
I put this on my Facebook page. I thought, oh wow, internet. Let me utilize the internet in doing this. And so I did a big blast. And Karen Hope happens to be one of my friends on there, and she did a blast to her friends, and one of them happened to be Rita Taylor of the Virtual Resource. And Rita did a blast, and I got you. Okay. And now here I sat in front of you, and I got 8 or 10, 12 other people that I sold vehicles to who are going to tell other people and tell other people. And the guy that you're talking about that you talked to, he did call me yesterday. Well, he called me Monday, and then he called me again yesterday, and he told me as soon as I get back in town, he says, Beverly, I'm interested in purchasing a car. This is monumental to me. I'm going to tell you something about the dealership.
All right.
They're looking at me like, where is she getting these people? Where are these people coming from? Because they know as a social worker. They're trying to figure out what is going on. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm very grateful.
And that's a good place to be because your attitude reflects your altitude. Okay, lets you know how high you have the right attitude. So get ready. My whole thing is this, and this is something that I say. If you go back, you look at every show that I have. We need to support one another. We're building a network of people. Ms. Taylor is putting out jobs every day. People that are looking for jobs, I'm referring them to Ms. Taylor. This is what I do. I spotlight people that are doing good things in the community. So I'm a social worker as well. You understand? Yeah. People come to me all day long, every day. I do this because I love it. It is my passion. I want to see us grow. I want women to be empowered. I want men to be empowered as well. I want us all to help one another to rise, to utilize each other's service, and once we're all wealthy, when we continue to pour back into, to the people that we the people that we, buy from or, work with or do, those types of things. So again, I want to thank you,
I'm very happy. I'm very, 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 very happy. And I'm, Miss Taylor called me this morning and she said, "You sound really happy about being on that show." I said, "It's not just that.
Okay.
It's so much more,
Right.
But I'm very grateful.
Great.
I really, really am. And I'll do the best I can to help whoever comes to see me. I'll do the best I can. Because again, like I said, I've been on both ends of that where you're embarrassed because you don't want to be turned down, and yet you may not have just enough money, but I'll try to do the best that I can.
And what I want my viewing audience to know, that her best is good enough. So if you trust her, just trust her and trust yourself. Believe that there is nothing that you cannot get if you really want it and have the right attitude and do the things that we know that we need to do each and every day, and your one no, because you'll get several no's before you get that yes. So if you're looking for a car, if you're looking for a vehicle, then you need to be talking with Beverly Archer. Give your number again, Beverly.
My direct line is 248-714-1517. Again, 248-714-1517. Email barcher@lafontaine.com.
All right. So what's on your schedule for this afternoon?
Well, I'll be at the office.
Okay.
I'm leaving here and I'm going to the office. We work a lot of hours, and I enjoy it. I love what I do.
Okay.
I absolutely love what I do. So I'm looking forward to meeting my next person who is going to purchase a car from me. And I will be there. Actually, I have a couple people who have sent me some things from Rita Taylor as well as from you that is waiting on my desk right now, and I'm going to help them. I think it's very important to give back. A lot of times we get caught up in our own thinking, which says, I can't. It's not that you can't. And when you were talking about no doesn't mean no. It just means not right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
For me, anyway, I'm the type of you must didn't understand what I was saying to you.
Exactly. And that's for for everybody. And so sometimes when we have, I just thank God that I had a lot of no's in my life. Some of them were good for me, some of them were not right now, because I ended up seeing them. And some of them, Lord Jesus, I'm happy that, he did say no. So, half hour is never enough time, but we'll do this again, like I said, that, here on WIGNTV.org, we are looking for people to start sponsoring the Barbara Dean Franklin Show and doing some commercials. The people that I've had on the show, we can do some commercials for you. So I'm looking forward to seeing a commercial where you're talking about your cars, where we're actually showing a commercial for Beverly Archer at La Fontaine Family Dealership. You understand? Okay.
I'm excited. Thank you so much again.
You are very welcome. And, this is a partnership. We'll be doing other things together. Whatever you need to do. Definitely. I'm here for you. And I know that if anybody that is looking at the show needs a vehicle, definitely call Beverly Archer, because she is a person that you can trust. I will put my neck on the chopping block for her, and I know I would still have a head.
Yes, you would.
I would still have a head. Now, what I usually do each and every week is I spotlight a missing person, but I didn't get a picture of the young lady today. But we have a young girl that is 14 years old that is missing in the Detroit area. Her name is Tiara Moore. She was last seen by her mother leaving her home in the 1200 block of Stringham Court on the city's east side of Detroit on February the 7th. She's an African American. She's 4 feet tall. She weighs about 98 pounds with brown eyes and long straight hair. If anybody has seen Tiara or know her whereabouts, please contact the Detroit Police at 596-5940. I've partnered with Peas and their Pods, and they look for missing children. They are a big advocate of missing children. We want the children to know that you may be gone, but you're never forgotten. We love you. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you, and we're trying to get you home. So I'm going to end the show, as I always do, thanking you for tuning in. Hopefully you got some information that will be helpful to you. And I will say to you, from my beating heart to your beating heart, I love you. You understand? Okay.